Towards the end of 2 Timothy, Paul's letter to the pastor Timothy, we read, "As for you, always be sober-minded, endure suffering, do the work of an evangelist, fulfill your ministry. For I am already being poured out as a drink offering, and the time of my departure has come. I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing." So, Paul is writing to Timothy. Timothy's a young man, and he's encouraging him. He says, you are an evangelist. Be sober-minded. In other words, don't be silly. Don't be distracted. Don't be thinking about other things. Keep your mind on things serious. Endure suffering. And Paul, if anybody, would know that suffering is very much a reality for someone who is faithfully preaching the gospel. And he ends with, fulfill your ministry. So Timothy, as a pastor, has possibly the most important job of anybody at any time. He has many people under him, people looking to him for wisdom, for direction, for guidance. And Paul tells him that I am being poured out as a drink offering. So he's using Jewish imagery. Basically, his life is coming to an end. He's going to be finally killed for his faith. He is going to pass into eternity. He says, I fought the good fight, I've finished the race, and I've kept the faith. So, again, using metaphors, describing the real faithful Christian life as a struggle, as a fight, as a race in some sense. He says, I've kept the faith. So, coming out of Judaism, thinking that he was being faithful, thinking that he was being a faithful follower of God, after his experience on the road with Jesus appearing to him, he comes to the realization that he was really missing the mark. So he went off into seclusion and into Arabia, probably did a whole lot of studying, re-understanding everything that he knew in the Old Testament through the person of Jesus Christ. And he says, henceforth there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have loved his appearing. So we can look at Paul as like the exceptional Christian, the one who has done so much, who has far exceeded anything that we could even think to do. So it's good to compare ourselves to those who are far greater than us, because if we just compare ourselves to others, say in America, we're setting the bar awfully low. So when we look to Paul, when we look to the other apostles, when we look to saints throughout all the centuries, we are setting the bar higher, and which should push us to be more critical of ourselves, to expect more out of ourselves. So Paul is looking forward to an eternity where he will be rewarded for the work that he's done of teaching the gospel. So, and it's not just him, it's all of us can look forward to being rewarded for where we are faithful, when we are faithful. Our lives are not our own. We need to push ourselves, we need to struggle, we need to not take the easy path of just occasionally slipping into sin. Our faithfulness needs to be real. We need to be willing to set aside that which is easy, that which is comfortable. And when we focus our minds on what eternity is going to be like, our eternity will be like whatever we make ourselves to be now. As I've said elsewhere, our souls are like concrete. However we form ourselves throughout our life will create for us the eternity that we will experience for eternity. So, set the bar high, work hard, be faithful, and think of the eternity that you're going to experience.